Welcome to Basket Talks new episode. In this episode, we are with Kyle Travis.
Put everything in slow motion.
What's going on, guys? This is Coach Kyle. If you're looking to shoot like your favorite shooter, you need to do these every single day. What's going on, guys? This is Coach Kyle. If you want to have confidence driving to the lane and finishing, we're going to be looking at a couple drills to help you get to the basket and finish with ease.
What's going on, Hooper? Right now we're getting into a 10-minute follow-along ball handling workout. We're gonna be on the go, grab a basketball, get some space, and let's transform that handle. My name is Coach Kyle. Let's get after it.
Hi, Coach. How are you?
How you doing, Amir? Thank you for having me. Pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure to meet with you, and thank you for your time. We have some problems, and we delayed a little bit, but thank you for your time, and then thank you for your patience. And how is it going? Is everything great?
And no worries. I appreciate you having me on, and everything's going well over here. Yeah, we're busy, but it's a good busy. We're having a lot of fun doing it, but once again, appreciate you and everything you do for your basketball community over there.
Thank you so much. And yeah, it's good to be busy than just laying down in home. And you told me that you're going to Hawaii tomorrow for 2-3 days, and you have some camps.
I want you to feel as bad as you can for me. You know, I have to work on the Hawaiian Islands in paradise. So we love it. We're going to be taking our team to visit the islands. We get to do a camp, spend a little bit of time. We'll get a day or two of vacation. And so it's going to be a blast. This is the first time taking my team there. Usually it's just myself going to different countries, but we finally get to bring the other guys along with it. So it's going to be a good time.
I know that Hawaii is a very good place too. Like as I say in the movies, actually, what are some of the key values and principles you hope to instill in the young players and coaches who attended your ICANBBALL camps or clinics?
Every camp seems to be different, right? Every country, every city. I try my best before the camp starts to talk to some of the players, ask them how long they've been playing. Now, for big camps, it's really hard to do that, but I really try to talk to some of the kids. Every camp is going to be different, what they're looking for, what they want, but nonetheless, every single player we work with, every camp that we do, we try to instill not just work ethic, but patience while you work. Because we all want to be here, right? Half the kids you talk to want to go NBA. Some of them, they say, hey, I want to get a scholarship. Some of them, right, they just want to simply make the team, right? So every player has different goals, has different weaknesses and strengths, but they all have a goal, right? And it's going to be important, right? They stay patient, right, while they work. So we all want it right now, but you're going to have to put the work into it, right, which takes time. But we encourage them to never give up. Just stay patient with the process and patient with your development.
And actually, I want to talk about your basketball background a little bit. As I read and then heard some of the podcasts that you attend, your journey has been marked by significant challenges. How did you maintain your passion and drive for basketball during these difficult times? And what advice would you give to young players or coaches facing their own obstacles?
It was definitely a difficult journey. I was a 4-year varsity starter, right? So my freshman year, right, as a 14-year-old kid, I'm starting on varsity, right, against 17-year-old kids. I had a good future up until that summer. That summer, I came down, my ankle nearly broke. They put me in a cast for a whole month, so that whole summer, it was a very important time, and I wasn't able to attend all the top-notch camps. I was sidelined that summer, but it taught me, we talked about patience. I recovered, was able to get on, find myself starting on the varsity team that second year, and I tore my ACL third game of the season. So I had just been in a cast during the summer. Then once the season rolled around, third game of the season, I tear my ACL. It takes 9 months to recover. After I get released, I'm good to go. A few weeks later, I come down with a cardiac arrest. So now this is my junior year in high school, and I come down, and really all the doctors don't have a lot of hope for me. I had a defibrillator inserted into my chest. So right now I still have the scar, but it was pretty much over. They said I couldn't do any contact sports ever again. But we didn't give up. My parents took me to another doctor, and we got referred and found this doctor in San Francisco. He was able to clear me. We got the doctor's note, and I was able to get back on track. But after those 3 injuries, I was a step slow. It was tough getting back into the swing of things. Nonetheless, I didn't know what the word quit was, right? If you looked at my dictionary at home, we ripped that word out. We didn't know what quit was. We kept going. I knew I missed a lot of basketball, a lot of very important years. Quit was not in our vocabulary. We just kept going, and I knew that I was a step slow, but I didn't want to give up. And so it was really just one step at a time. I knew that I was a little bit behind, but I can get back on track. I had to stay patient, diligent, working, and eventually all of the local junior colleges came to my game. Where at one point there was Division I coaches looking at me because of all my injuries. There were still colleges still interested in recruiting me. So despite missing all those years, right, there was still interest to have me. I decided to not go the junior college route. I decided to pursue ministry work, maybe become a pastor or a missionary, go to another country. While all that was going on, I was starting to get recruited to play professionally in the Philippines. All this time here, even though it wasn't what I wanted to do, I was still able to get back on my feet, stay patient, and keep working. What I would advise young players is you are going to face obstacles. We don't know what it's going to be, but it's how you handle those obstacles, right? A lot of players, when they have an obstacle, the first thing they do is they immediately want to give up. Some players, they face an obstacle and they use that as an excuse for the rest of their life. We all face obstacles no matter what it is. And quite frankly, some people care, some people don't care. When you do face obstacles, it's about how you handle and what you become because of those obstacles. You could either let it make you or you can let it break you. And so that's the advice that I would give young players.
Amazing. Thank you. I love the word that I don't have quit word in my vocabulary. I love it. And then I really love your elite ball handling drills and then the tutorials. Actually, I tried some of them. It was like between the legs and behind the back, between the legs behind the back. It was?
Yes.
With one hand?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
How do you view the role of social media, and what tips would you give young players looking to utilize these platforms to improve their game?
So social media was how I got my start. I was away from the game of basketball for a little bit, and I knew that the only way for me to connect and network and to learn as much of my community as possible, I had to get on social media because that's where all the attention was heading. So for me, it was a must because I needed to catch up. By building a social media presence, you're able to connect with a lot of people. So there's a lot of blessings, and it is a phenomenal tool. The reason why I travel is because people know me through social media. Now, with social media, it's also a great thing because there's a lot of great educational content on there, and there's a lot of good entertainment as well. Social media really is just a reflection. So some people like to bash social media. Some people love social media. Social media really is just a reflection. It's a magnifying glass as well. You could either choose to do bad or good on it. Now, you might be doing a lot of bad on it, but if you think that you're teaching the correct things, go for it. There's no right and wrong answers, right? It's just, boom, a magnifying glass. You could put your name out there. You could put your highlights out there. You could learn from it. Also, it could do bad things for you. You could be on it too long. You could compare yourself to other people, and then you can get discouraged. There's a lot of good and there's a lot of bad. But as long as you know who you are and you have core values that you instill in yourself, then you should be okay. But if you're insecure, right, you don't have a good foundation, you have the wrong mindset, then social media can lead you away. You can get discouraged, you can compare, and then you're just going down the wrong path with social media. So it's important to use social media properly to learn, grow, and help get inspired.
I saw that you really emphasizing the basic fundamentals, the fundamentals of the game. How do you balance advanced skill training with reinforcing these basic fundamentals?
When a player hits a certain point and they need to go a little bit higher, you need to challenge that player. Now, you look at Kobe Bryant, he's known for his workouts, the Mamba mentality, being there before everyone else, working out 2 hours at a time, 4 times a day, right? Just in the gym all the time. Sometimes people would go to watch him, and for an hour straight, he's doing the most simple things. And now that's someone at the highest of level, still in love with the fundamentals and the basics. So no matter who you are, what level you're at, you still need the fundamentals. You need to fall in love with it. The first thing you do when you get to a basket is not work on your 3-move combo. First thing you do when you get to the basket, you start right in front and you get into your form shooting. Every professional, every elite shooter, the first thing they do, find that basket, form shoot. Now eventually you start to stretch it out, you work on other different things, and you begin to challenge yourself, work on different combinations. But at the core, you still need to work on your fundamentals, right? Add that. Have the fancy stuff, do whatever you want, be creative, but you still need time for your fundamentals no matter what.
So can you elaborate on some of the specific techniques you focus on that you believe are crucial for player development?
Yes, some of the fundamentals would be dribble step timing. So you have a player coming for the first time and they're very awkward. They don't have good coordination. The first thing you want to check is their dribble step timing. So when you walk, right hand up, you step with your left. And then left hand up, you step with your right foot. It's going to be opposite hand, opposite foot when you walk. When you dribble, it's going to be the same thing. When you dribble with your right hand, you step with your left. If you dribble with your left hand, you step with your right. You want to make sure the dribble step timing is there. Otherwise, they're going to be awkward when they dribble. So that's the first thing you check for. And that's the fundamentals of dribbling right there. Dribble step timing. Hand and opposite foot. Then you go into the basic dribbles. There's V dribbles, there's figure eights, right? You could have them wrap the ball around and learning how to go between the legs. When you go between the legs, you don't aim for your feet. You don't aim for your legs. When you go between the legs, you want to aim right in between your heels. So you put the ball right between your heels, it's not going to hit your leg. You see a lot of beginners, they go between legs and boom, bounces off their legs. Well, you bounce that ball right between your heels, it's going to come up and you're going to catch it on the other side. So those are some of the things you teach a beginner. Then when you look at advanced players, you want to make sure that they move their body properly. Everything moves together. When you cross the ball over, it's not about just moving the ball or your hands. When you cross the ball over, it's about moving your body. Sure, footwork is very, very important. But if I were just to move my foot right now, I'm moving my foot, but look at my body. It's not going anywhere. If I move my body, boom, now we can fake one way and come back the other. So moving your body is going to be really important. That's something you want to watch once the player starts to become a little more advanced. How will they move their body? Then you have the cherry on top, which is your eyes. I can move my body, but then once you use your eyes, boom, that's the cherry on top. So those are some things you start to look for, right, as a player starts to progress.
Absolutely. And it's really good to have a lot of different drills. If, for example, if you're not good at shiftiness, is kind of hard word for me. Shiftiness. Yeah.
Oh no, that was it. Yeah, that's it.
You can find a lot of drill to become more shifty. As you said, you started in your backyard building a basketball court, and now you are one of the, for me, best coaches in the world. So, for young coaches and trainers looking to follow in your footsteps, what advice would you give them about building a successful training career and making a meaningful impact on their players?
First of all, thank you for the kind words. There's a lot of great trainers out there. I learned from other trainers from before me, so I appreciate that. There's a lot of trainers that will reach out and they want to learn from me, and they ask me if I have a certification program, and that's something we want to look at down the road. But right now, we still have that mentality where we're a startup. We still want to be building all the time. And I was asked to speak at a trainers conference. A lot of the head trainers in the United States have come together, and some of the bigger voices in the training world has come together, and they have a conference, right, in a month and a half. They asked me to speak, but I had to kindly decline because I told them there's a lot more that we want to be able to do. Once all of those are in place, then I'd be happy to speak. But for now, we still want to be able to grow. So a lot of players, will ask for certain advice, and each player is a little bit different. And some of the main things that we always say is, just make sure you're always learning. Make sure you're paying attention to some of the trends. Now, especially going back to social media, pay attention to what some of the trends are. Some of the videos and content that worked for people in the past don't really work too well today. You might have the best information, but if the media and the content is just not there, people are not going to watch it. So pay attention to the trends. As a trainer, you want to be able to demonstrate and you want to be able to teach, right? So it's going to be important that you do both. Now, during COVID, a lot of us couldn't have any contact with players, and so it really challenged your ability to teach. I was in Singapore doing a camp there, and right before my flight, the day before my flight to go to Singapore, I went snowboarding. I was recording myself going down the hill. There was nobody down. It was a backside. It was wide open. No one behind me, no one in front. It was just me and the mountain. I start recording myself, and I lose track of my footing, and the edge of my board caught the snow, and I started to flip and flip and flip. I have this all on camera too. I get up and there's snow all over my face, and I thought I broke my ankle. I was in a lot of pain. Turns out it was just a really, really bad sprain. I have yet to break a bone. As hard as I sprained my ankles, I have yet to break an ankle. I had a really bad sprain, and so I'm in Singapore, then I'm in Taiwan, then I'm in the Philippines, all with a very bad ankle. I couldn't walk normally for 2 weeks. It challenged my ability to teach. Even though I couldn't demonstrate as well, I had to learn how to teach to a large crowd. Being able to teach how to talk, how to emphasize certain points is going to be huge. Because when we're 50, we could probably still move. When we're 60, some of us still might be able to, but you're gonna have to learn how to teach and use your words, and that's gonna be really, really important. A lot of us that are young, I'm in my 30s, right? I can still move, but learning how to teach is gonna be the most important thing that you learn. It's not being able to do the best crossover, it's can you teach the best crossover? So that's going to be my biggest advice to up-and-coming trainers.
It's like Gannon Baker once said, if you can't demonstrate your words, create your world. So
I like that. I like that.
So
he's obviously someone who could do both.
Oh, and
he's phenomenal at what he does.
He's hitting like 52 tomorrow, and he still like still move. Yeah. He's like more energetic person than me. So he's like
absolutely. He's phenomenal. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we talk about coaches, so how about your advices for players? We kind of talk about it, but I want to ask it to, have some specific answer.
You have to put yourself in front of the right eyeballs. I just had a conversation with someone today. We work with pro athletes, and sometimes they should be playing for some country somewhere, but they haven't had the right opportunity. Now, it's important you put yourself out there. If I were to right now just work out right here, I'm in our gym, I shoot around, I practice, and all I do is I live in the gym. No one sees me. I could be the best player, but nobody knows who I am. It's important to put yourself in front of the right eyeballs, right? There's social media like we talked about, right? Being able to show your footage, right? Send it to different organizations. There's different ways to go about that. There's different tryouts that you could attend if you want to play overseas. We have some guys that they go to Vegas for this tournament, and from that tournament, right, you can get scouted. There's a lot of scouts there. You go to San Diego, same thing, and you put yourself in front of eyeballs. It's important that you put in the work, but you also go and find the right opportunities.
Thank you for all of your answers and all of your lessons that you shared with us, and thank you for your time, and thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for all.
My absolute pleasure. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I appreciate all you do for your community, the basketball community, and we're hoping to see you and your continued success. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hope to see you in real life, in person.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, let's make it happen.
Yeah, thank you.
And let's get after it, baby.